Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. This time, I'm doing the 1999 movie, Kevin Costner movie, For Love of the Game. And so it's Kevin Costner, Kelly Preston, J.K. Simmons, and John C. Reilly. And the movie's about, Kevin Costner plays a 4-year-old pitcher who's about to retire. And as he's pitching his last game, and it was a perfect game actually, is looking at his imperfect life. More specifically, his imperfect relationship with Kelly Preston, his on-again, off-again girlfriend. And Kelly Preston was very good in this movie, and so was Kevin Costner and and everybody else. But this movie got, mixed reviews when it came out in 1999. And I think maybe because mostly from Yankee fans, because this movie shows Yankee fans in the most accurate light possible. And as you can tell, I'm not a stupid Yankee fan, because throughout the whole movie, Yankee fans keep banging on Kevin Costner's character, saying you suck, or you couldn't pitch a 10, all the stupid trash talking the Yankee fans, specifically Yankee fans, the most famous for doing. And it really shows them how Yankee fans really are. And not even me as a Met fan act like that. Particularly at a game where we're banging on other players, because they're not Yankees, they're not stupid Yankees. So throughout the game, you have a lot of flashbacks, and I think that's also another problem a lot of people have with the movie, because when he starts the game, or the perfect game, it's during the day. It's like a 4 o'clock game or a 4:30 game, and by the time the game ends, it's at night. So how can you have a game that's supposed to be a day game and at the end of the game is at night? So that's one of the problems. Some of the other problems that people had with the movie was that during the flashbacks you had seen Kevin Costner pitching Yankees, saying it's at night, and then go back to the perfect game, it's during the day. So people complain, complaining about going back and forth with the perfect game, it's daytime or nighttime. And if you pay attention to the movie, you see there's flashbacks, or the sun goes down almost halfway through the game, it's dark already. By the time he pitches the 7th, 8th inning, you realize he's pitching a perfect game. It was dark already. It was night already. The sun goes up. It's supposed to be like the last weekend of the season, so the sun sets earlier if you have a 4 o'clock game, but usually by the end of the game it's going to be dark already. So I didn't have a problem with that. And also, of course, the whole thing how Yankee fans are treated, that the constantly cursing you, say you suck and all that type of thing. But the movie itself, it's a long movie. It's about a 2-hour and 18-minute movie. So a lot of people complain, it's too long, because people don't have the stupid attention. People don't have an attention span for a movie that's an hour. Much less a 2-hour and 18-minute movie with the constant flashbacks. But like I said, I never had a problem with flashbacks or anything else in this movie, because I like the fact that Yankee fans are actually treated with accuracy, how accurate they are. With all the trash talking and we're gonna stick a fork in you, Chapo, you're done. And throughout the movie, you see all the flashbacks and how much he loves baseball. That's the only thing that he really cared about, is going out and playing. Every day. He never really had a real close relationship with a woman before. Even though he was a womanizer in the movie, but he never had a love story. Like Kelly Preston never had a love story. And because you find out that Kelly Preston had a baby when she was 16 years old, and she had sex with her father, with the guy she had sex with, dumped her, was like a pothead or something like that. And because she became so cynical, she never had a love story either. And then she felt possibly had a love story with Kevin Costner, and that's what does happen. And just before he pitches his last game, he found out that the team was going to be sold. The team owner, played by Brian Cox, tells Kevin Costner, "Yes, I sold the team," and the New Orleans are going to trade you. Either they're going to trade you or they're going to release you or something like that. And he says, "Oh, it'll be serve them right if you retire. It was secondary if you retire. Instead of ending your career with another team, it will be terrible if you don't finish off your career here at the Tigers. They put you for 19 years." So as he's thinking about retiring, he's in the middle of pitching a perfect game, and then after that, he found out that Kelly Preston's character is going to move to London to work on a magazine in London or something, and he decided to break off the relationship. And John C. Reilly says, "Man, it's not your day, Billy." And then meanwhile, he ends up pitching a perfect game. With all this drama going on around him, he ends up pitching a perfect game. And which, of course, was the game. And you did have Vince Scully announcing the game. And that's how all his movies is. You have Vince Scully and you have Steve Lyons, or Psycho Steve Lyons announcing the game. And 6 years later, or 7 years later, Steve Lyons got fired from Fox because he made some kind of stupid comment, like a mugger's comment, something about being mugged, and there's certain group of people were gonna mug him or something like that, and so Fox fired him. And you have Vince Scully, who, as far as I know, doesn't do national broadcasts anymore. Hasn't done it since his days with NBC. So you have all that stuff going on, and then you have pitching this game, and one of the most dramatic moments of the game or the movie is a scene where during the off season he goes to Aspen with Kelly Preston, and he has a house in Preston, and he has like a little garage with a wood equipment, and he's sawing. He has an electric saw, and he's sawing a piece of wood, which you don't actually see it, but you see his whole hand is cut and bleeding in his pitching hand. And she's rushing him to the hospital, and at first the doctors weren't, they weren't paying all that much attention because they were other patients, and eventually she urges people, "What is that? Is this not America? Is baseball not America's favorite pastime?" And then she finally got a doctor, and then he treats her lousy, sending the trainer in Detroit to help me. Because he's very important to me right now. Not Kelly Preston, but the trainer. Like, she can't help him, So that's how he treats her through, badly for only that scene. But there was another scene where he does invite her to spring training, and Kelly Preston does get down there at the last minute and catches him with his masseuse. He just had sex with his masseuse, or massage therapist actually, and he had sex with her, and they almost catch him in the act, or at least after the act was over. And she left that time. She left another time when he's trying to come back from the hand injury they just mentioned, and he kicks her out of the house. And then all the months later, so almost the end of the season, he comes back from his hand injury, and she says she doesn't have anything to do with him anymore. And then the next year he comes back to the end of the season, just before his last game, and he says, "Oh, when did you come with me to the game?" I said, "No, I have to go to London." And that's when she tells him, "Hey, I'm going to London for this, new opportunity to get this promotion. Now I'm going to London." And then he finds out that teams were sold. He might get traded or released, and so just before the last day, he writes on a ball, gives it to the trainer, and says, "I want you to give it to the owner's nephew who's in the clubhouse. Give him this message for me." And the and the trainer read what Kevin Costner wrote on the ball, and he just stopped on a dime, saying, "Hey, I can't believe that he's, quitting. My God, he's pitching a perfect game in his last game," which of course never happened in baseball history. So he goes up and gives the owner the ball, and he finds out, and on the ball it says Tomlin threw for love of the game, Billy Chappell. And of course, I know I'm giving it away. He does end up throwing the perfect game, and after in his hotel room by himself, he's all by himself. He doesn't have Kelly Preston there. He has nobody to celebrate this perfect game with, and he just breaks down and cries because of he threw this great game. His perfect game was last game he's ever going to pitch in the major leagues, and he has no one to celebrate with. Because naturally he never was married, he doesn't have any kids. In the movie he doesn't have any kids, nobody, no family, nothing. And other than his teammates, he doesn't have anybody to celebrate with. Which is sad. And John C. Reilly plays the catcher, and Kevin Costner fought to get him to catch him for his last game. Even though he doesn't mention the fact that he just planning on retiring. He just wants, Gus to catch him because he was his his number one catcher, and his long time catcher, because he only has him catch all the time. And he said, "Oh, I want him to catch me one more time." And then when the game was over, Kevin Costner takes John C. Reilly back to his hotel room, and he thanks Chappie for the game. He said, "No problem. He said, No, I don't mean giving me a glass of water. I mean fine for me to play in the game." And he says, "I know." And that's how it was, because pitcher and catcher, a very intimate relationship, almost like a husband and wife type thing. And that's what happens. And I still feel that's a good movie. And what happened, of course, after that is the next day he goes to London, and he sees Kelly Preston in the airport. That's because the whole subplot of Kelly Preston, because she can never get away from the game. Because he's trying to avoid it, like she doesn't care about the game, she doesn't want to know about what's going on in the game. Then she finds out that she goes in the cab to the airport. The cab driver has the game on. Then she goes to the airport, and the plane is delayed. And she goes to the lounge, and they have the game on in the lounge. Then she goes to the hotel, the airport bar, and the bar has the game on, so she can never avoid the game. Avoid it. And she's sitting next to a stupid Yankee fan. He says, "Oh, I know every number of every Yankee that's ever played. I can name a Yankee fan, every uniform number." He starts going through the list. And if you recognize the guy who plays that part, he was a guy who in 2002 movie Spider-Man, he was the guy who stiffs Peter Parker after the wrestling match. Because, and I forgot to tell you that this movie is directed by Sam Raimi, who of course later on would direct the first 3 Spider-Man films. So there was a couple of actors he uses all the time, like J.K. Simmons plays the manager, plays J. Jonah Jameson in the first 3 Spider-Man films, and the other actor I mentioned, and also Bruce Davison, I think. I forgot what the name of the actor is, but he uses him a lot. I think he was also in this movie in some capacity. I forgot what part he plays. But in the Spider-Man movies, he was in the Spider-Man films. And thank you. There was a truck that blew his horn out there. So Sam Raimi did direct this movie, and I thought it was very, very good. And then when I heard he was going to direct Spider-Man films, naturally I ran to see him, because he did a good job with this movie. And for all you stupid Yankee fans, your favorite umpire is in this movie. Does play a role in this movie. And your favorite umpire, of course, is Richie Garcia, who was the one who stiffed the Baltimore Orioles in the 1996 playoffs. He has a role as one of the umpires in this movie. And naturally, of course, me as a Mets fan, and of course, and a Yankee hater, of course, naturally, going to hate that umpire. Because thanks to him, you have the stupid Yankee dynasty in the late 90s, because thanks to him. Because he called that Derek Jeter a home run instead of fan interference of calling him out, or maybe ground rule double at the least, but no. Give him a stupid home run, which is a disgrace. If you're a baseball fan, it's a disgrace. So anyway, I want you to watch, the movie For Love of the Game, and if you're really watching, really paying attention to this movie, it is a really good movie. And of course, the feature on that is making a feature, and no audio commentary though, but it does show you how the movie got made, and it's actually based on a novel, I found out. But if you ever get a chance to see For Love of the Game, especially it came out around this time of the year too, tune in to watch it. It's a 14-year-old movie, but it still holds up, and it's better than half the movies that today, especially Kevin Costner films, because this is really my second favorite one. Field Dreams is the first one. I make that one first, which I did earlier. For Love of the Game, of course, Bull Durham, which I also did about a week ago. And then it's ranked third in the Kevin Costner baseball movies. But I don't think that Kevin Costner is going to do any more baseball films because he's too old to be a player now. But he was too old to be even in this movie. And they do have deleted scenes, and the deleted scenes are also very good in this movie. Especially when after he got injured, there was a scene with him in a restaurant, and a fan was making fun of him, put ketchup on his hand, "Hey Chapo," and pretends he cut his thumb off or something. And which is important, but fortunately, I wish that scene was in there, because it shows you more how lousy Yankee fans are. And I think that scene was in New York, and the stupid Yankee fans were picking on him for nearly cutting his hand off. And that stuff wasn't in the final cut of the movie, but it was in the cut deleted scenes. And also, one of his old teammates, now was currently playing on the Yankees, comes to visit him in the clubhouse and congratulating him for the perfect game. But that scene is part of the deleted scenes on the DVD, on the bonus features. Plus a baseball quiz, which is also very good. So if you ever see, get the DVD, because it's also, it's one of the better ones. I don't have some Blu-ray yet, but please tune in to see the movie if you can. Thank you for watching, and catch you next time.